What's shaking, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box presents the CovrPrice comic book shakers of the week. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I myself am scorching. It is like 87 degrees in Orange County today, which is uncalled for. Totally uncalled for. It was hotter here than it was when I went to Vegas over the weekend. Can you believe that? I don't understand how that works, but I know we're late, but you know what? It's a tradition, so I got to do it, man. So, while you guys are congregating, we already have a request for some freestyle music, so let's drop this on you. Let me see what I got for you guys, man, because, tomorrow's Friday, so we got to drop freestyle music, and we already had a request for some freestyle music, so let me drop this on for you right now.
I can be the same. I can be the unfaithful. I can be the same. I can be the unfaithful. I can be the same. I can be the unfaithful.
The baddest on the microphone apparatus is here. When I rock a rhyme, often eyes are dropping a tear. It's so beautiful, it's America's landscapes when this man makes lyrics like the syrups that you pour upon your pancakes. My mandate is to grip minds like a handshake. Spit Orlando Lakes and go skinny dip with the fan base. Over any damn breakbeat, I hastily make pastries tastier than anything that Wolfgang makes. So take notes out of suckers, I make coats, lump of some like Bubba Gump fishing on lake boats. I take jokes and turn the comedy into drama. I'm bagging on your mama, I'm Jeffrey Dahmer behind ya. I'm a rhyme writer, lock stock, smoking the ganja. Rebuttals befuddle, leaving a puddle of saliva, sillies. You couldn't handle Randall when I throw my grammar at you. It hit your head and you would think I threw a hammer at you. I point the camera at you like Herb Ritz. Develop it, then use the pictures to pick up bird shits. You're nervous as the impervious wordsmiths hanging out in Rafa's new crib come with the verses.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Man, I just realized we're going up against March Madness. The Sweet 16 starts today, right?
Dude, if you say so.
We should have taken a day off.
Yeah, Sweet 16 starts today, man. So, hey, shout out to everybody in the live chat. I hope you guys are enjoying your afternoon so far. Once again, this is a show sponsored by our friends over at CovrPrice.com. For your price guides, collections, and trends, head on over to CovrPrice.com for a 2-week free trial or $6.99 a month. Also, Key Collectibles. Go to Facebook.com, Instagram.com /Key Collectibles for all your slabbing, pressing, cleaning, facilitating needs. My buddy David Hong will also be at WonderCon, so I can't wait to see him. We will be there as well, and my man Gabe may just come out too.
See what happens, man. I'll
Right.
make it work. We'll make it work.
All right, me, Gabe, and Justin going to be tearing stuff up. You know what I'm saying? So it's also sponsored by our friends at KRScomics.com. Go to KRScomics.com. Use discount code LOTOB to get 10% off KRS, any KRS Comics exclusives. This drops Friday at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. Will Jack,
Ooh.
Justice League number 75. Boom. That is gorgeous. And Will Jack and Mike Mayhew will both be at the KRS Comics booth. And so I am going to be all over the place. I'm going to be hanging out with the KRS crew. But, I am so tired. I'm not working any booths. I'm just going to be walking around. I'm still recovering from Vegas. But I'm going to be hanging out there for a bit. So Will Jack and Mike Mayhew will be there to sign your comics. They won't have a CGC facilitator, though. So if you want your comics signed and submitted, make sure you grab a witness and bring them on over to the booth. And they'll be doing sketches and whatnot. They're always cool. Yeah, so make sure you check them out. Will Jack and Mike Mayhew at the KRS Comics booth. I would tell you right now. Hold on a second.
I wonder if my CGC facilitator witness status is still active. I'm going to look into that.
Yeah, well, my man David Hom from Key Collectibles will be there, so you can find him and get it. So, KRS Comics booth will be an 801. Also, make sure you check out the CovrPrice panel that they're having at 5:30 on Saturday in one of the panel rooms. I don't have right off the top of my head, but you can look at the schedule, and they're going to talk about comic books and investing and just the crazy world we're in right now of comic books and the pricing and everything. So it's going to be fun. I am going to attend that. I'm going to heckle them from the audience. So once again, boys and girls, this is the CovrPrice comic book shakers of the week. This comes from our friends at CovrPrice, focusing on new sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily shakers list. This list changes several times a day, so make sure you check out every day to review some of the hottest trending books on the market. So after we go over the top these 10 books, don't forget to hang out still, because we're going to go and see what's shaking today, boys and girls. But today we got to see what's shaking. All right, so they're not in any numerical order or anything like that. These are all alphabetical. So and I rarely do I ever say this on the shaker list, but I think people have a good chance to get at least maybe 3 or 4 of these. I think maybe 3 for sure. But you know what? Hey, there's always hope. All right, what do we got for the first one, Gabe?
No, I'm going first, and right out the gate.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going odds. He's going evens. Right out the gate, we've got Daredevil issue number 168, originally published in 1981 from Marvel Comics. Daredevil who? Oh, you mean Woman Without Fear. Killer writing by Chip Zdarsky and some great covers have rekindled readers' love of Elektra in current comics. In case you haven't been watching closely, there are a bunch of Elektra featured titles now. Starting with that Daredevil Volume 6, since issue number 25, when she becomes the new Daredevil, there's been Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, Elektra, Black, White, and Blood, and the upcoming Elektra 100, which will celebrate her 100th episode. Her 100th appearance in comics. It all started here in Daredevil issue number 168 with Frank Miller's 1981 creation of Elektra Nachios. This was Miller's first time writing and penciling Daredevil, and wow, did he come out with a banger. Under his writing, Daredevil turned around from a title that was losing readership into one of Marvel's flagship superheroes. We will forgive him for misspelling Elektra's name on the cover. Ouch. Because this is one cool character. This week we noted a number of hot sales. A raw copy sold for $900. A 9.6 sold for $1,059. An 8.0 sold for a cover price high of $361. and a 6.0 sold for $265. An even lower grade 4.0 sold for $170. Yep, Elektra is having her moment, and we can't help but wonder what this might mean regarding her potential introduction into the MCU.
Yeah, so the reason I highlighted this, I picked this price because this is a 4.0 that sold for $170 raw. That's amazing to me. I mean, in the past, you never got it. I still befuddled that I sold my my first appearance of. I sold mine when she appeared in the Netflix show. I should have held on to it, but I always say, man, is there any other tortured hero than Daredevil? I mean, he's been through so much stuff. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, geez, he has gone through the ringer. He has had a tough life.
He gets it bad. He gets it bad through this series. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, programming note. CovrPrice panel is actually on Friday at 5:30 p.m. So there, make sure you check out CovrPrice's panel Friday at 5:30 p.m. with Matt DeVoe and John over at WonderCon. So thank you for that. I thought it was
should get
Saturday.
a DJ for the panel.
Yeah, right. Hey, if you guys, man, if you guys want me to DJ, I'll do it. We'll make it a party. But put it this way: at 5:30 p.m. On a con day, people are tired as hell. You know what I'm saying? That's why that's a panel at 5:30 is perfect, because some people can just sit there, relax, and just listen to people talk. You know what I'm saying?
Get off my feet panel. Yeah,
that is it. Exactly. It's like going to Disneyland and just going somewhere. It's like, I'm gonna take this train that goes around the park because I just want to sit there for like a good hour and not have to walk around. So.
Small wonder that like a 15-minute ride and I get to sit down the whole time. So let's go in there.
Yeah, exactly. Most important thing, one of the most important things attending a convention, boys and girls, comfortable shoes. Don't let your dogs get beat down.
Don't wear new shoes.
Oh, no. Don't try to break those bad boys in. Wear comfortable shoes or even Crocs. Who cares who laughs at you? As I get older, I don't even care anymore. It's like comfort is my thing. Looks or whatever. I lie. I still like looks because I get down with Adidas Ultra Boost. So, So we're just digressing out to all kinds of. Hit me up if you want some advice about foot issues, because I had plantar fasciitis, and I got Adidas Ultra Boost, and it cured it amazingly. Amazing. All right, so Daredevil 168. Speaking of, and there's the hand for Daredevil, and we're talking about feet. See how that works out? Boom, synergy. I'm just saying. All right, so Daredevil number 168, a low grade 4.0, so for 170. 170, boys and girls, for raw. Yep.
What's going on?
All right, next up is a book you may have, but look closely again.
Double check these covers, everybody. We're talking about Edge of Spider-Verse number 2. This is the dark version from 2014 by Marvel. This dark version is Edge of Spider-Verse's trend to spark much debate. It's most important to note that this is not an error nor a defect. It's simply the process of printing a book with such dark colors. The varying degree of black is very subjective. Obviously, through the process, the initial printed books will get more ink than the books at the end of the run. We compare this to New Mutants 87, the first appearance of Cable, where the color wildly ranges between copies. There's an ultra bright orange cover versus the more muted version. This is very noticeable. Even more so than the Edge of Spider-Verse, those color variants provide no market premium. However, black is a little tougher to determine. The key distinguishable factor is to closely focus on the buildings, especially at their outline. If you can make out their outline at all, then it's not a dark version. If the buildings blend perfectly into the black sky, then you have a copy where there is no variant here, just like New Mutants 87. However, due to the market premium, we do label these cells separately as a variant. We've tracked many of these dark cells, and this week is the first time that we've seen a true representation of this cover, which sold raw for $1,378.99. That is more than double that of the standard cover. So what do you think? Is this a variant? Is it not? Is that worth the extra money? What do you guys think?
So yeah, this is interesting because when you bring up that cable, so there's an orange cover and there's a red cover, right? And for the longest time, I was looking for the red one because for some reason the orange one seems to be the dominant one. Like whenever you look for it, you always see the orange one more. We're talking about the first appearance of Cable. Whatever that New Mutants issue is, or is that X-Force, whatever, man.
New
But
Mutants
New
87.
Mutants 87.
Yeah, so but for the longest time I was like trying to find the red one, because all the ones I find were all orange, and so this isn't a variant, maybe a manufacturing defect, maybe, or something along those lines. But obviously people nowadays it's the scarcity of what people think, right? I mean, there's probably not as many as these, but Edge of Spider-Verse, Gwen, all these books are going to blow up as soon as you see a live action version. Like I said, it takes people to see it live for them to go out and buy it. You know what I mean? It's just the way of the beast. So there you go. Edge of Spider-Verse issue number 2, the dark version. Can you imagine this in a 9.82 though, with all black? Oh man, that's got to be a tough one to get. So we go from Edge of Spider-Verse number 2 to another book, similar, kind of, but this one should definitely get you on the board. I think I have it at least.
Yeah, this is good today. We've got Howard the Duck, issue number 1, the Ron Lim Gwenpool 1 in 25 variant, originally published in 2015. Now, last week we covered Lady Deadpool. However, there's constant chatter and fanfare around the other female Deadpool, Gwenpool. Created for the cover of Deadpool's Secret Wars issue number 2, the Chris Bachalo Gwenpool variant in 2015, as a mockery of Spider-Gwen, she was not only accepted by fans, but celebrated and officially introduced into the Marvel Comics universe via this 2015 issue of Howard the Duck, issue number 1. She has continued on into her own series and featured on a variety of covers. Hardcore fans and collectors, like Mr. Longshort of Tales of the Flipside, seek her hard to find issues, giving them a surge in demand and prices. However, this key cover appearance started it all and just keeps surging ahead with a big sale of $987 for a 9.8. That sale was destroyed a few hours later by another 9.8 for $1,500.
That's crazy.
Damn.
That's crazy. Within hours, somebody paid
within hours. It went from
double.
1,000 to 1,500.
Yeah. So, yeah, I have this one. I remember when Gwenpool came out, it was all the rage. You remember that? It was like, I remember that one cover where she's like laying in the pool. That one was sought out after too. I mean, it's just, it's always a hot character, right? So, Gwen, Spider-Gwen, what have you, and then Deadpool. Mash them together, and there you have it. I mean, that's pretty awesome. But interesting, enough. I mean, I don't know if we'd ever see it, but you know what it would make? It would make a great what if story on Disney Plus, I think. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe it happened. I mean, maybe there are whispers of it, because why else would people be spending this kind of money? Whenever there's movement like this, I always think that there's a reason behind it, because people are, somebody knows something and they told somebody else. So you never know. I got to go pull out all my Howard the Duck number 1 variants and Gwenpool covers. I have a bunch of them somewhere, man. But yeah, I can't wait.
Isn't that one of her on the in the pool, her first appearance? And it's not even like in the book. It was just like
it's a cover, first cover appearance.
They made up for her.
I think it's the first cover appearance is her on laying in the pool, and she's on on one of those floaties.
Yeah, she's not even in that book. She's just on the cover.
Right. Yeah. So I thought they made her up just for that cover, and then it caught on, and then they made her into a character.
Yep. All right, so Howard the Duck number 1, the Ron Lin Gwenpool 1 in 25 variant from 2005, $1,500 for a 9.8. Damn, I gotta go dig into my own long boxes and see what I got. All right, so this one is an oddball of a book, so you may have it, but I don't know, man. I don't know how many people who are getting this, but it's an oddball book. pun intended.
Yeah, it's an Audubon book. All right. This brings me back to childhood. This is Madball's #1 from Marvel, 1986. This little oddity just sold for $788 in a CGC 9.8. Madballs is a line of foam balls with monstrous faces created by Amtoy, a branch of American Greetings. Each ball had a distinguished name to match their gross character. Marvel was the undisputed king of licensed properties throughout the 1980s, publishing adaptations of Star Wars, Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Transformers. Secondary to those pop culture juggernauts were Madballs, the short-lived but popular bouncing horrors. Marvel published a 3-issue adaptation of the toy line under their Star Comics imprint. They're now defunct Juvenile Comics, the wonderfully charmed Peter Porker, the spectacular Spider-Ham, brought to the big screen in the Spider-Verse movie as something of a cult favorite with a slightly lower print run due to the fleeting popularity of Madballs. The first issue of the comic adaptation can be greatly sought after. Madballs has experienced a resurgence in the beginning of 2006 with new toys announced in 2020. Nostalgia for original toys, excitement over new product, and collectors who loved them as a kid that are now adults with disposable incomes explain this week's unexpectedly high record sale price for this book. Look out for the Lion's Forge 2016 series that features one incredibly tough to find and incredibly awesome 1 in 10 variant of Madballs #1 by the artist Stephen Crowlover. Its current fair market value is $60, though we expect that may go way up as copies are almost impossible to find.
Yeah, look at that
This is
gnarly
crazy.
cover. That one is gnarly. I mean, compared to this one, that looks fun, kind of. But this one, that looks dope.
That first one is for kids, and that second one is for those kids who grew up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. This is definitely not for children. But I dig this. But man, who'd have thunk Madballs?
I had these toys as a kid and never knew they had a comic, but
Yeah.
I've been collecting these like old cartoon show comic books, like Street Sharks, Biker Mice from Mars, Tiny Toon Adventures, things like that, because that stuff is all coming back up around, like Gargoyles, things like that too. Have been hitting
Yeah,
us
remember
really
I think Garbage Pail Kids comic made it
Yep.
on our list before too. I mean, it's all nostalgia buys for people who like this stuff when they were kids, you know, in the 80s, and now as they grown up and have careers and they're like, you know, have disposable income and they cashed out on their GameStop stock and they're like, hey, let me buy comics. So you know, so Madballs issue #1 made it to the Shakers list. Never would have thunk it. But then again,
Yeah,
this
that's
is the
not a
Shakers
bingo
list.
card.
Okay, so we go from a possible to a definite offer.
This is an offer. Are you guys ready for this one? This is a fantastic story. Fantastic writing, by the way, tonight by all the writers over at CovrPrice. Next up, we've got Marvel Comics issue #1, originally published in 1939 from Timely. $2,427,777.65 in a CGC graded 9.2. We needed to start off the week's new record high sale price for this legendary issue. That is almost $2.5 million. Fasten your seatbelts.
Nice
This
job,
issue
JB.
is a
Yeah.
comics grail. Published in 1939 by Timely Comics, this was the Neophyte publisher's first printed comic. This issue introduces the Human Torch as well as a Golden Age greats, Jungle Terror, and the Angel. No, not the X-Men's Angel. This one is a non-powered detective who wore a costume as a spy buster and fought zombies. That's right, Nazi zombies. I know. What Nazi isn't a zombie, right? And This is also the first comic appearance of the Golden Age Khazar. Again, not the X-Men one. His Golden Age predecessor. This issue also serves as Namor the Submariner's technical second appearance. Namor was created by Bill Everett in a prototype giveaway comic called Motion Picture Funnies Weekly, of which only 8 copies exist, and they were found in the publisher's estate at the time of his passing. Now, Marvel Comics issue number 1 serves as Namor's inaugural mainstream widespread appearance. Also, do not forget that Namor predates DC's Aquaman. That's a big bloody deal. Now, the Human Torch introduced here is the android who fights beside Captain America in the Nazi stomping invaders. He is then later brought into modern Marvel continuity with appearances in Fantastic Four, West Coast Avengers, and the Namor's 1990s title. This is the first Human Torch to ever see print. The original. Also, very big deal. Oh yeah, Timely Comics, the publisher for whom this was their very first comic. Well, they grew up to be Marvel Comics, Marvel Entertainment, and Marvel Studios. All of that, the entire Marvel age of everything, started in this one issue. Namor's first mainstream appearance, the first Human Torch, and the beginning of Marvel's legacy substantiate the astronomical sale we saw this week. Additionally, the fact that this comic, printed 83 years ago on cheap newsprint, somehow surviving intact in a 9.2 grade is utterly remarkable. An absolute cornerstone of the comics industry, this single issue is indeed one on which to build a collection.
That is incredible. We always talk about it. Like when that Action Comics went up on Heritage, what was it, like a 9.0 or something along those lines, and books from the 30s that are graded in a 9?
These are time machine books, man.
I'm telling you, time machine.
saying,
I already told you guys my
1939.
theory about that, man. If I had a time machine, I would go back. But remember, you have to have the right currency. So take back the correct currency from 1939. You can't give them a dollar bill. They're gonna look at you
You'll be
crazy.
like, what the hell is this, man? You trying to pawn off some fake shit
Yeah,
on me.
you gotta find a 1939 10-cent piece, that may cost you a wee bit, but it's worth it if you could buy it. So yeah, so my God, that's this is history. I mean, Marvel Comics #1. I mean, 2004, man, for 9.2
$2.5 million.
Isn't
Crazy.
Namor also the first superhero to ever fly?
Yeah, with his little wing legs, with his
Yeah.
little wing feet. Superman didn't fly yet. Superman was still jumping at that point. Fight me on it, people. Fight me on it.
He said,
true.
"Fight me
Yeah.
on it."
It's true.
It's true. He was still
He
leaps
was
and
the first
bounds.
flying superhero. Was
Yep.
Namor?
Yeah, because I forgot what issue was, but it wasn't in like Action Comics #1. It was like maybe 5-10 issues later, where maybe even more, where Superman actually started to fly. But prior to that, it was what was the saying? Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, right? And then they just said, "Screw it, you got a cape, fly." It's interesting to me that in the DC comics, so many people fly. It's like, if you think about it, Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman flies, but she has a jet. I don't understand that part of it, but anyway, Marvel Comics #1, first print from 1939, $2.42 million in a 9.2, and I would say that is money well spent indeed. All right, we go from unattainable to half of you better have this book, because I always post this book during Halloween comic covers, and I've been talking about this book for a long time, hopefully, and it's pretty attainable, was at least. What do we got up next?
All right, coming up next is Marvel Premiere number 28 from 1976. Marvel superstars of horror, Morbius, Man-Thing, Werewolf, and Ghost Rider team up to form the Legion of Monsters and confront Starspeed, who has returned to Earth in hopes to rejoin the human race in peace. Not truly understanding Starseed's intentions, they attack him. Unbeknownst to them, Starseed held the power to free each of the monsters from their respective curses. But but perished in battle before he was able to help. Monster-themed comic books have always been an incredibly desirable, even more so with these pre-code horror comic book fans. We have seen this particular issue continue to spike in value over the past few years. But this past week, we saw a massive CGC 9.8 go for $10,000.
What?
$10,000.
What?
A 9.4 sold for a record $1,060, with a record raw copy topping $750. This Bronze Age monster book has always been incredibly popular, with these average raw copies now selling for over $400. It is also about time to get really expensive. There's going to be some monsters coming out for sure pretty soon. This is great.
Agree.
I used to sell this book at Torpedo for like $60, like raw, all day long.
Exactly. Yeah, all day long. Let me hold on one second. Let me just make sure I have this correct.
James
So
with the 2 out of 6.
at the time of when the notes were given to me, there was another sale. So a raw comic sold on March 23rd for $1,000.
Oh my God.
So even the notes say $750. I just looked on CovrPrice right now. A raw copy sold yesterday for $1,000. So
Wow.
somebody knows something. So here's the interesting thing. First off, Marvel Premiere issue number 28 on the Shakers list. So Oscar Isaac doing his press junket for Moon Knight. He was on a Spanish show. Literally Spanish, because the guy's from Spain. I actually worked with him before. Strip Marvel. He's got like 900,000 subs on YouTube, and we collaborated before on some scoops. He interviewed Oscar Isaac during the press junket, and Oscar Isaac named like the Midnight Suns. He straight up said, and he just said, "Oh, I'd like to be part of Midnight Suns," but he actually named the characters that wanted to be in it as well. Not saying this is part of it, but it all ties to this whole thing. Even the early reactions for Moon Knight that have been coming in, I think the press got to see the first 3 episodes or whatever, and the press is saying Moon Knight is the most supernatural show yet, even more so than WandaVision. So there.
I just want to see a CGI Man Thing walking around. That'd be great.
Oh yeah, Man
That
Thing
looks
is
so
coming.
cool.
Oh yeah,
Giant sized Man Thing is coming.
Yeah, go check out our long-term spec list from about 2 weeks ago. Man Thing Disney Plus show. What I was gonna say. Yeah, they're going horror. I mean, so far the reactions are good about the Oscar Isaac and the Moon Knight. I mean, if you looked at some of the new clips, it looks pretty dope. The costume is not the same as it is in the comics, which is kind of cool. If you looked at some of the featurettes that they do, the costume kind of envelops him and even makes him bulletproof. And that's my Moon Knight. I'm not a Mr. Midnight guy. I am the Fish of the Khonshu Moon Knight fan that gets powerful when the full moon is out. Remember that? I mean, in the early runs of Moon Knight, when the moon was out, he was more powerful, right? So if you want to beat up Moon Knight, beat him up when there's no moon out. So that's what I think. All right, so we're halfway there, boys and girls. So are you tired of paying 10%, 15% or more for your raw and slab comics? Check out our friends at My Slabs.
The platform designed by collectors for collectors just got even better. MySlabs.com is proud to now feature dedicated sections for both raw cards and raw comic books. Browse over 100,000 slab collectibles, authenticated by the industry's most trusted grading companies. Then check out a massive selection of sealed wax and now raw singles and raw lots. Join a passionate, no-nonsense community of nearly 50,000 members and enjoy some of the best buyer and seller protection in the business. And as always, My Slabs offers one of the most disruptive pricing models in the hobby, with seller fees as low as only 1%. So the next time you're forced to pay 10%, 20%, or more to sell something from your collection, head over to myslabs.com, the low-fee marketplace. By collectors, for collectors.
There you go. I do believe it's 1% on slabs and 3% on raw. And you can sell singles or you can sell a lot. So you can sell like, if you have Avengers 1 through 10 or whatnot, or if you have Nova 1 through 25. I only say that because I have a sneaking suspicion that Nova number 1 will be on the top 10 list or the Shakers list next week. If you think you can find Super Adventures number 6, good luck to you. I do not think it does not exist.
It's a fanzine. Yeah, those things are gone.
Yeah, because Deadline, the Deadline article said first appearance of Nova was in Super Adventures number 6. I said, wait a second,
What?
that was a fanzine created by Marv Wolfman. And it was like I do believe there was a heritage. It was basically like him just drawing on something. I don't even know. It wasn't published or anything like that. I mean, Marv Wolfman's first published work was in DC in 1968. But if whoever has that, whatever Super Adventures number 6, they're gonna get big bucks for it, because I have a feeling there's maybe I can only imagine there's a handful of them. It's basically, he wasn't even called Richard Rider yet. He was called Black Nova at the time, and it was just him sketching out, what he thought, and it was a fanzine. He was 20 years old at the time, so it wasn't really. But it's interesting how Deadline said first appearance of Nova, Super Adventures number 6. I'm like, I don't know about that, because it's not really a real comic, but what are you going to do? But anyway, so I'm super stoked for Nova news. We don't talk about news of, I think I'm going to bring back the Lord's News Show, where we talk about news and how it affects comics, because, we kind of started that stuff way back when, but when that news dropped on Deadline, man, oh man. And they said it's the Richard Rider version, not Sam Alexander, but man, just the whole Nova Corps that, give me Nova Prime, man. That's what I want. Nova
That's what I was hoping
Prime.
to see that too. I love that Nova series, that DNA Nova series when he was Nova Prime. Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the helmet talking to him, and he was like super
Yeah, the hive
powerful.
mind.
He basically had all the power of the Nova Corps because they were all dead. And he was going out and just wrecking shop. And he was part of the whole Annihilation Wave and everything.
That
So
storyline was like, that's what brought Marvel Cosmic back. Marvel Cosmic was gone for the longest time, and that DNA series with that Guardians of the Galaxy, the Annihilation stuff, that brought back Marvel Cosmic to the top.
Yep. It was Abnett and Benning, right? I mean, they really kind of started that. They're writing on the Annihilation Wave and the Guardians. People don't give Abnett and Benning Bennett, or is it Abnett and Benning? Anyway,
Abbott and Landing.
Thank you, Abbott and Lanning. People don't give them any credit. They always give Bendis credit for Guardians of the Galaxy, but Abbott and Lanning were the ones that really put great cosmic stories with the Guardians of the Galaxy and everything. So, man, I can't wait. Gotta go. Marvel is going cosmic and supernatural in phase 4 and 5. That's all you.
I just bought a set of Annihilation.
Yeah.
Off of eBay just today because of this.
Well,
I want to see it come back around.
I didn't spec, but I bought the Nova Annihilation, I think, miniseries, which is 1 through 4, which is when the first time he is part of he gets the hive mind. So that's the all powerful supernova. I think all the covers were all the covers done by Adi Granoff. I'm trying to remember.
There's Adi Granoff and also like some early Gabriel Delato stuff too.
Yeah, some gorgeous covers. Go look for Nova Annihilation 1 through 4 or 5. That is the first appearance of what I guess Nova Prime is what you would call him. But he was I guess he was too powerful, so I had to kill him off. Oh, spoiler. But anyway, I urge you all to go read that. It's a great run. All right, so we go from Marvel Premiere number 28 from 1976. How we were just talking about this, and then we were talking about Nova. But you know what? It's a segue because Marvel is going cosmic and supernatural. So there you go. That's my segue. All right, what do we got up next?
Well, I guess we're going cosmic, right? Next up, we've got Solo, a Star Wars story adaptation, issue number 1, the Luke Ross 1 in 50 cover, originally published in 2018. Now, the popular Star Wars Crimson Dawn series featuring Kira is the leader of the criminal organization. Well, her inclusion in Star Wars canon has given her first appearance in this solo adaptation a huge boost in value, as seen with this 1 in 50's variant's new high sale this week of $750 for a 9.8. Now, portrayed by Amelia Clark in the film, fans are hopeful that she'll reappear in future Disney Plus content. What do you guys think? You got this one?
No, but
No.
Nemesis Prime does. Yeah.
Nemesis
so this
has
is
all Star Wars books.
yes. This isn't even the Han Solo series. This is the actual adaptation of the movie. And it's a 1 in 50 from who would have a lot of people panned that film. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it
because
actually, yeah.
for decades I heard about the Kessel Run, and I finally got to see it, and I geeked out hard. Right? I mean,
Big time.
you hear about the Kessel Run, and then you finally see what the Kessel Run was, and it was dope. So, like, it's Star Wars is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's good. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and or other things that I won't say, because this is this is for the
Family
kids.
shit.
No, it's not. It's for adults anyway. Solo, a Star Wars story adaptation, issue number 1. Luke Ross 1 in 50 variant from 2018 hit a cool 750 bones for a 9.8. All right, next up is Gabe's favorite book on the list.
Yep, this is the one that I wanted to pick the most to read about today. So this is Transmetropolitan #1 from DC Comics 1997. Warren Ellis's cyberpunk dystopia-based Vertigo title is considered one of his best titles to this day. In fact, the similarities from this book, written in 1997, to today's culture are eerily too close to home. In a digitized world where humans can download their consciousness into hard drives, modify their bodies to look like aliens, live alongside computers with free will, struggle with corrupt presidents, the main protagonist, Spider Jerusalem, who is modeled after Hunter S. Thompson, is an investigative reporter exploring these variations, conspiracies, and injustices, and exploiting them. This is a must-read for all comic book fans. With a raw fair market value of $32, it's been very undervalued. This week's new high sale of $511 for a 9.8, beating out the last high of $350 earlier this month. It's a tide-changing moment for the book, and definitely a book to own. And I was bringing this up because this is absolutely my favorite comic book series of all time.
Gabe,
I have
you're
this
full,
tattoo.
you're full screen now, so you can
okay.
show you can show the people how big of a fan you are.
I got
Boom
tattooed on my arm.
Fanatic.
He's got the ink, son.
Crazy.
So yeah, I mean, I got the first CGC I ever bought for this, or I've ever bought, was about 20 years ago, and it was this copy. It's just some random 9.4. It's all I could have found at the time. I just wanted to get a cool CGC book, but I own all 60 issues. I own all the trade paperbacks, the absolutes, the Kickstarter. I have original art. Like, this is my.
But do you
absolute
have the
favorite book.
glasses where one is rectangular and one is round?
That's Google Glasses, and we will get that sooner or later. But this book is fantastic. If anybody likes cyberpunk, it's Warren Ellis, who's fantastic, a fantastic writer. Derek Robertson, who's the artist for The Boys.
Yeah,
this entire series themselves. It's a Vertigo title.
I think Derek passed away too, didn't he?
No, he's still around.
Oh, he's still, one of the creator from The Boys passed away. I forgot who it was. I could have swore I thought it was Derek, but never mind.
No, thank God. But yeah, I love everything about this book. This is definitely one that people should check out. It's a little political heavy if you're into that kind of stuff or not, but it's just this futuristic world where they predicted things like Twitter. They predicted things like really crazy presidential races that were going on in this book, odd religions. There's a lot of things. It seems like they wrote it today, like it's a commentary on today, but this is 1997. So it's this really cool futuristic look of everything. It's great.
That is pretty dope. All right, so Transmetropolitan. I remember this book from the 90s. I wasn't a big DC fan, and Helix was a sub label of DC at the time. This is, does this predate Vertigo, or was it side by side with Vertigo?
It was concurrent with Vertigo, and then this
Yeah.
died, or Helix died, and Transmet was the only book to survive, and it went under the Vertigo title.
Yes. Yes, there. Thank you. Yeah, it was Dylan who passed away. That was worked on the boys. Thank you. So Transmetropolitan #1 from 1997, 9.8, $511. This is interesting. We were just talking about this book on Tuesday's show, and Matt didn't even know. And sure enough, it's on today's list.
All right, next up we've got The Walking Dead issue number 100, The Retailer Appreciation Lucille Unsigned, originally published in 2003. Now, when issue number 100 came out, The Walking Dead TV show was already a massive success, and the first issue was one of the most expensive modern comic books. When this anniversary issue introduced Negan for the first time, no one expected him to be the iconic villain of the series so late in the run. His popularity skyrocketed, quickly driving up the value for most covers of issue number 100, though it was the Lucille the Bat's 3 variants that went nuclear and became some of the most valuable variants. This version of the cover was limited to 500 copies and were intended to all be signed. Copies were sent to retailers as a thank you for their long support of The Walking Dead. However, multiple unsigned copies made their way into circulation and have become quite rare. Hence, this week's all-new high sale of $1,800 for a CGC 9.8.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Now, we've only tracked 8 sales throughout the book's history, with the last high sale of $1,000 in August of 2021. Previously, the focus and high value were always on the red foil version, sold directly to the public via Skybound's online store. Now, this version cost $250 and was only provided during the 2012 Black Friday Cyber Monday weekend in limited capacities. That hit an all-time high of $2,025 for a 9.8 in January of 2018, though only sells for about $1,016 in 9.8 today. Now, in 2018, you could pick up this unsigned version for around $450 in a 9.8. The market premium has definitely flipped here.
That
You guys
is
got this one?
crazy. I do, but I don't have this Lucille one because I remember when Walking Dead 100 came out, it was all the rage. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, because this is the first time they did multiple covers, I think,
Yeah,
right? Which
It
was
wa-
the
yeah, there was
100.
tons of covers actually. When I
Yeah.
think about it, yeah. I mean, this is like Walking Dead would just. I mean, I think they've calmed down a little bit. This was, for a while there, Walking Dead was trudging along. First appearances here, there, and the other. But Negan really, that, and then of course the Bat, Lucille, rest in peace, Glenn. Oh, too soon or
Too soon,
spoiler?
too soon.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, and that really put AMC on the map as really a cable. It wasn't a cable show. It was more like HBO because there was some serious violence going on that show. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy violent what they did on that show. I mean, nowadays, and you think about it, nowadays, FX, AMC, they're dropping F-bombs and all kinds of other crazy stuff. Like Snowfall is one of my favorite shows on FX, and pretty much everything goes in that show. But, AMC, I mean, you remember back in the day, like broadcast cable, you still were limited on what you can do. You couldn't, curse and stuff like that. I mean, damn it, they're damn near almost like HBO. But the only thing is they just don't allow you to do nudity. But you can pretty much get away with everything else. So, So The Walking Dead #100, The the Retailer Appreciation Lucille unsigned for $1,800. Wow. All right, so we go for one that you probably have, or at least one of them, to something that is, man, I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know who has this. Maybe somebody in the UK has it.
All right, so last one of the night, we're looking at Warrior #1 from Quality Communications, 1982. This hard-to-find British publication marks the first appearance of Alan Moore's V for Vendetta and Marvel Man, who was later renamed to Miracle Man. This is obviously tough to find here in the States, though they're out there, featuring two comic book masterpieces. Miracle Man's return to Marvel Comics is helping his first appearance jump in price, with high-grade copies selling for $500 and more, and a new high sell of $8,505 for a very rare CGC 9.6. That's the highest grade in Census, with only 2 other copies sharing this grade. This is a great investment book and one to watch closely when other copies appear.
Yeah, I mean, the UK has had a long, rich history with science fiction comic books and writer. I mean, pretty much Europe, right? If you think about
Judge
Mobius,
Dredd,
yeah. If you think about Mobius, the French artist who did a lot of like sci-fi stuff, so yeah, I did not know this was the first appearance of V for Vendetta either. This is another one, it's not. But it's interesting to me is people in the UK. I have a friend that lives in the UK, and he says, our comic shop. He goes, our comic shops don't have any back issues of old British comics. You know what I mean? But every now and then you can buy a comic on eBay that was a UK edition or something along those lines, and it never was released in the US. Here, I'm looking at my background. There's an Avengers featuring Doctor Strange comic in my background here. I'll show you after here. You see that one? See that cover?
Yeah.
Dormammu one?
The Dormammu one? Yeah.
Yeah, that was never released in the U.S. That is strictly a UK book. It was the Avengers featuring Doctor Strange. Right? Go figure. Nice. All right, so let's go see what's shaking today, boys and girls. I know we're running a little bit late, but you guys want to see what's shaking today, so let's get right to it. Here, let me take this off so it can be a seamless, dare I say, seamless transition. Seamless transition. Skadoosh. All right.
That's seamless, all right.
Seamless.
Yeah. So, this is CovrPrice. This is the top 10 that we cover on Tuesday. This is Movers, most units sold. Looks like Captain Carter's doing pretty well. 15 units sold.
Love seeing that X-Men #1 still picking up.
Wow, 30 units sold for that X-Men #1. 20 for Star Wars. Ultimate Fallout. Jesus Christ, 17 units still sold. Man, people spending big money. But we're here to shake things up, damn it. Let's see what's shaking today. And I know I have 3 of these. Oh, look at that. I got, Fantastic Four, Ultimate Fallout. I got 2 copies of that off at CGC right now. My giant size X-Men is an 8.0 signed by Chris Claremont. Yeah. We shall see.
I like
You
seeing
don't
that.
have an Avengers 1, TiVo? Come on, man.
Where?
You don't have an Avengers 1 in your collection?
No, that ship has passed, man. This book used to be, you can get this book used to be like $3,000-$4,000 for like a 4.0, 5.0 about 5 or 6 years ago, I want to say. But a graded 1.0, $2,300.
Damn.
Whoa.
I paid $2,300 for my 3.0.
Highest known value, 9.6, 215 grand. Holy cow.
That was 7 years ago.
Yeah. Jeez. I wonder how much it is now.
Right.
All right. Our usual suspects, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, good old X-Men 90. Wow. A raw dog sold for $1,000. X-Men 94. I expect this book to pop pretty soon, man, because Warlock is definitely coming, man.
Oh, I hope you're right.
$850 for a 7.5.
That's still a good price.
Yeah.
But also, there's that weird debate of which one is really going to be.
Oh
the
my
big
God,
book,
it's all
you know?
over the place, man.
Yeah.
So I try to cover them all. I have
What
this
does cover
one,
price say for this one? Slide down. Does it says this
cameo,
is the
and origin of
origin.
him, and then he
Go
later
back
turns
one
into
issue.
Warlock.
Go back one issue. What does it say that one is?
Oh, that's
So-
nothing because it's a Fantastic Four book.
No.
Right. But what he's saying is it's still like the
Oh.
first appearance of the Cocoon or
Oh,
something.
It's the
origin of
origin,
him. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But there's also the Marvel, is it the Marvel premiere book of Warlock? Is it? I'm trying to think. Marvel
Is it
premiere number one?
one? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's number one.
Yeah, because Warlock did 2 or 3 issues, and then it became a Doctor Strange title after
Yeah.
that.
And then they had those Thor issues too, right
yeah,
after.
and then
the-
there's Warlock number 1. It just goes on and on and on, man. It's one of those things.
Hey Tivo, roll up real quick, man. I want to go back to X-Men 94. Notice that it's got the fire symbol next to it.
Means it's a
So-
hot book.
That's a hot book. And then the other one had a purple diamond on the New Mutants 98. So that must have been something special on that one. Is that because it's newsstand?
Yeah, Australian.
Australian. Okay, Australian.
I
'Cause
didn't know they
if
made
you- there's
Australian
little
made
sy-
comics.
how do
So
you tell? Is it it's on the barcode?
Well, no, the key comic gives you the little key right there, but next to it was a little purple diamond,
Right,
and that
right.
meant there was something special about that book. That's why I wanted.
Yeah,
him
hard to
open that one
find.
up.
Yeah.
But how do you know that this is the Australian edition? Like, how do you spot it out on the book itself?
Well,
Is it?
let's
I think it's
see.
on the
Well, right there
barcode
in
at
the
bottom,
price.
right?
Yeah. No, it's in the price.
Oh, it's in the price.
$150 Australian up in
Oh, there you go.
up there in the top.
That's cool.
I've literally never seen an Australian comic. I mean, I've seen UK comics, Mexican comics, Italian comics, French comics. I've never seen an Australian version. That's pretty interesting.
And then when
but-
you see the fire symbol, like you see on X-Men 94, those are the hot books. So I always like to go to my collection and see if I have any fire, and every once in a while there'll be some fire books in there.
Yep, that just means it's hot. Hot. Wow, look at these. We always talk about video game
That
books.
is weird.
Super Mario Brothers Special Edition from Acclaim Valiant, 1990. $818 for 9.8. This isn't even like the first appearance. The first appearance of like Super Mario Brothers and all of them, man, that one's fetching big bucks. But that one's interesting. A little Craven Love here. Here we go. Some Voltron for you. I read somewhere on the
internet
news,
that that's being
that
yeah,
they're going to
turned
do a
into
live action Voltron. Yeah, they're doing a live action Voltron.
I've
So
got a graded one
Oh.
for sale if anybody needs. It.
I don't know if they could top that Netflix series they did.
yeah, that Netflix series is pretty good. Here, hey,
Oh, that
Milo
cover.
Manara, the one in Fitty. Spider-Man's logo is
Show the one without the
right
trade dress.
where-
Yeah,
They totally should do a version for
they
it,
have
for
a
that.
version of it without the trade dress. Don't they? Slide down, see if it's in there. Is that a version
they
cover of that?
No, I think he
Aw,
did a
come
sketch for it, but Marvel wouldn't allow him to do it. I don't think, because I do know there's artwork out there that shows the trade dress without it, and I have the Penthouse Comics where that this is an homage to. I forgot which issue it was, and I think I sold it during my last auction. So. In the Penthouse Comics, Milo Manara did almost the same pose with a girl, except for there's like a crowd of dudes behind her going gasping. It's kind of
There was so much like complaining when that image first came out for that book. I remember that Minara cover, and then they just covered it up with the logo,
So-
anyways.
So everyone's buying Star Wars 1. Now you're going to start buying Star Wars 2 because it's the first appearance of Obi-Wan. But Star Wars 3 is on the list. Is there a first appearance in that one? I didn't see.
nah, probably, but
There's so many
look at-
first appearances in that Star Wars run that they just keep
Yeah.
coming out of the woodwork.
So pay attention. This is the newsstand, not the regular. The 565 for a raw copy. Huge. I have one sent off the CGC right now. Unfortunately, it's not a newsstand. It's direct stand. So wow, look at this. Fantastic Comics from 1940.
Oh, that guy's face right there next to his junk. Look at that. That's hilarious.
Who is that? Who's that?
Samson.
Yep. Doc Samson. Is that Doc Samson? Is it his name Doc
No,
Samson?
that's just Samson.
Oh, Samson, like biblical Samson, right?
I think so. Maybe maybe this
Yeah.
is some kind of like this. This is great. That guy's laying on the bed of nails and everything. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And there's something coming down on him. Well, that's dope. I mean, look at the size of Samson. Good Lord. Okay. I'm down with one of my favorite covers of the modern era. Joe Quesada 1 in 20, House of M, shows the madness of Wanda. And if you remember in the Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness trailer, when they're kind of when him and I think America Chavez are like rolling through like the Savage Land, their faces are coming apart geometrically, kind of like this. But this is dope. 526 for a 9.8. I wish I had this. I think I do. I'm trying to remember if I
got
do,
the Joe Mad variant one down there. But this is great.
let's see. Joe Mad, Joe Madura. Connecting covers. Look at that. That is definitely Joe Mad. Love me some Joe Mad. Battle Chasers coming soon or whenever. At least it was announced.
Open. White tick.
Ramatut. Here's why I think this book is first appearance of Ramatut, Nathaniel Richards, 520. You know, I don't know if they can do Nathaniel Richards' version of Ramatut, but what if I pose you this question in the live chat? What if Arthur Harrow is actually a version of Ramatut or a sorcerer for him? Because Arthur Harrow in Moon Knight does not have any powers. And if you look at the trailers, Arthur Harrow is he's doing some powerful stuff. So
I think he's Dracula, man.
I don't know about that, but he's definitely somebody. Hey, let's look at this. Earth 2 issue number 19. The Parademons of Apocalypse. The first appearance of Valzad for $500 for a 9.8. Boom. There you go. Some DC love for y'all. First appearance of the Watcher right here, $4.94. Ooh, my God, this is gonna. Damn it! I wish I got the Virgin. I have the trade dress. Almost $500 for a raw copy. But it's also the first appearance of that character. I forgot his name already. What's his name? I forgot. But there are some cool variants on this. So if you could tell, I have quite a few of them. I have two of these. This is the 1 in 100. This is my favorite, by the way, because I'm a huge Frank Bruner fan. Look how psychedelic that is.
That's so 70s.
Yeah, exactly. And even look at Bruner's tag signature at the bottom. Even that. So the Frank Bruner hidden gem variant, 1 in 100. $59 for a raw copy. $189 for highest known value, January 30th. So I'm right there. I paid a little bit more than what the fair market value is, but you know what? If I can get Frank Bruner to sign it, I know he's still alive. Hopefully he's doing a con season, so or some type of signing that we can get him to do it. I always love these Jungle books. Terrors of the Jungle, Savage Titan, from Star Publications. Oh, look at that. $449 for a 6.0 from 1953. That is the meanest elephant I've ever seen in my life. By the way, charging elephants are not to be fucked with, by the way. Here you go, Gabe. This is just for you, man. Yeah. Just for you, man. You and I both remember Deathmate. Deathmate had multiple. I thought they had multiple covers, but this is Deathmate preview. This is the preview, actually. So not Deathmate number 1.
I'm putting together, coincidentally, a video about Deathmate that I've uploaded on my YouTube channel. So.
For those who don't know, this was an Image Valiant crossover series that they did. So this is the actual preview of it. $400 for 9.8. So imagine all the Valiant characters and all the Image characters together. That is nuts. I wish, I don't, the days of those days are maybe gone of cross promotion like that, to that extent. Here we go.
Oh no, I got the other one.
Strange Terrors from St. John Comics. Look at that. Giant edition. 3 regular 10-cent comics in one. Wow, $3.75. I consider this a bondage cover. Yes, we do.
Oh yeah, it sure
Absolutely.
is.
Spawn. I haven't seen this Spawn cover. Spawn number 234, the sketch variant. I dig it. $3.75 for a raw. Spawn is the one of the things that just boggles my mind, although it shouldn't, because Spawn has a deep cult following from way back in the day. So
And they want everything.
exactly. But that is a pretty dope sketch cover by Todd McFarlane. I have this. I have the La Mole version, as I talked about. Third print, Ryan Stegman. First appearance of No, arguably, but $3.49 for a 9.4. Wow, not even a 9.6. What's a 9.6 for? 9.8 sold for $900. Wow. Well, I think it's also the Necro Sword and everything. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Boom. I dig this cover. Star Wars Empire Ascended. The Patrick Zurcher 1 in 25 variant from, 2009. All right, Justin, if you're in live chat, why is this book worth this much? What's the significance of it? I need to know. Why is it selling for so much?
That's crazy.
I got this in at 9.4, speaking of the devil, which sold for $330. But this, if you guys don't have G.I. Joe #1, you need to get it. Because when the G.I. Joe movies come out, the G.I. Joe run is just full of first appearances going throughout the series because there's so many damn Joes. I hope we get a proper G.I. Joe film. Apparently they're building their universe. So, man, you know what? Man, I haven't seen Monstrous talked about in a minute.
I love this book. This is such a beautiful book.
Such a gorgeous cover, too. Marjorie Liu. The first appearance of Maika, $325 for 9.8. I remember this book was all the rage, all the hot, but let's see what the highest note value. Oh, only in $375 for 9.8.
It's a great read.
I could have swore it was optioned for something. I'm trying to remember. Was it?
Oh, there's the Jenny Frison Voltron.
Oh, look at the price on that.
$300 for Raw. Oof. Voltron, Defender of the Universe, a legend forged by Diamond Dallas Page. I'm so sorry, I just read DDP. So, have you seen that show on Netflix with Diamond Dallas Page? It's Guardians of Justice.
No, never heard of it.
It's like half animation, half live action. It is the most bonkers shit you'll ever see. I don't know if it's good. I cannot tell if it's good or bad, but I can't take my eyes off of it. It's basically a take on Watchmen and maybe the Justice League and like Diamond Dallas Page pays what is maybe like a Batman type character in it, and I think it's called the Guardians of Justice or something along those lines. Man, this book is still going hot. First appearance of Illuminati.
People are going to really be mad if they don't show up in that movie.
Yeah. Well, I think when we saw Professor X, they probably saw it coming. All right, so go check that show on Netflix. Is bonkers, man. Because I was like, somebody was saying how crazy it was, and I put it on, and it ran through like the credits and goes starring Diamond Dallas Page. I go, what the fuck? Diamond Dallas Page is starring in this? I was like, come on now. But it has like half animation, half live action, and it's just uber violent. It's just really kind of, it's just watch it without knowing anything going into it. That's probably the best bet, I would say. But we've held you guys captive for long enough. I know you guys want to watch March Madness. This is the lowest viewership we've ever had on a Thursday show. So, everybody's watching the
Go Sports Ball.
Go Sports Ball. Gabe, any last words?
Thanks again for having me on, everybody, and I hope you guys enjoy your upcoming weekend. See you later.
All right, JB, any last words?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Another fantastic show. Actually, I'm going to be on at the bottom of the hour on a comic chop up on the Keep It Thorough channel. So come swing through and check me out.
Oh,
Look
sweet.
at you pulling double duty, man. I feel you're cheating on this, kind of. I mean, I feel kind of like, that's wrong. But
Tell Jose
hey,
what up.
Yep. Thanks for hanging out with us, boys and girls. We'll be back Tuesday. I am going to be in full recovery mood for the next 2 or 3 days. I ain't doing a damn thing, and ramp up for WonderCon. Make sure you check out our friends at KRS Comics, booth 801. Make sure you check out the CovrPrice. KRS booth is 801. The CovrPrice panel start Friday at 5:30 p.m. Make sure you check them out. I'll be there with Nemesis Prime and quite possibly Gabe.
See what happens.
You better go. You already said it. It's out in the ether. Bro, you live in Vegas. It's like a 3.5 to 10-hour drive. Come on, man.
It's a 45-minute flight.
There you go.
That is
for
true.
like $60. So yeah,
Come on, no reason.
Just do it.
You have no excuse.
Do it. All right, man. So thanks for joining us, boys and girls. We'll see you Tuesday for the comic book CovrPrice top 10. Until next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Shake and bake and pull it back.
Oh my God.
Hold on and get some, boys. In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 3 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is In this, you shall know that the Lord is
Go on and get some, boys.
What the heck is the deal? I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is
What's in the box?